First Warning MMA Report is joined live by Unified Martial Arts athlete and CMS athlete, the captain, Morgan Sickinger. Morgan, thanks for taking time to be on the show today.
Thank you.
We want to take a couple of seconds to thank our sponsors, Hydledge Masonry, Kiss My Fist Medco, the absolute hardest hitting edibles on the planet, Plush Care, and Jackson Yard Care. You have the right to a beautiful yard. Morgan, tell us a little bit about your combat sports background and how you got into MMA.
Good question. So I started in MMA 2006. I started wrestling in second grade, karate, kindergarten, first grade. The earliest they would let at the school I was attending let me wrestle was second grade. So I've got a 2 years background in karate, and then from second grade up, wrestled all the way through college.
Okay. So you said your first fight was in 2006. How has the MMA scene changed for you over the last 13 years?
Drastically. I mean, I evolved with it just like everything else. When I started 2006, you could be one style, and that carried me through, I'd say, my first 2 years of my MMA career. And
that was a wrestling background?
Yeah, my college wrestling. I had some jiu-jitsu as well and some ground and pound, but it wasn't until about 2 years after that until I started getting into even striking.
Sure. So what made you evolve into, becoming more of a well-rounded mixed martial artist?
Just the level of competition. The first probably 5 fights I blew through all the guys with just wrestling, and eventually I hit a brick wall where it's like, okay, you got to evolve yourself, or else you're gonna run into a roll, and that's it.
Yeah, sure. So I hear fighters talk about nerves. This is going to be your 33rd professional fight. Do you still get the same nerves that you had from the first fight, or is that kind of subsided?
That's subsided. The only the last time I was even nervous for a fight, and I told myself I wasn't nervous more. My body was for Bellator, and that was I went in the whole week prepared, thought I was confident. I wrestled in front of thousands of people before, but
Sure.
when I was in front of 55,000 people, I thought I was chill, but my body was like, holy shit, this is the real deal.
So you are one of the select few names that's a true pioneer of MMA in the state of Wisconsin. Looking back on your career, what's your thoughts on it?
I'm pretty impressed myself with just being able to say I continued actively competing in 14 years at a top level as well, not having a pretty respectable record.
Yeah, so you've been training at Unified Martial Arts for a while, but you've opened your own gym that's been open for what, 5 years or so?
Yep, correct.
Tell us a little about CMS and what you got going on there.
So my gym itself is growing. Opened that in 2013 in a barn of my parents. Now I've expanded to YMCA in Manitowoc Rivers. I'm actually debuting in 2 weeks from now. 2 students out of my gym. So
So you're kind of transitioning from full-time fighter to full-time coach after this.
Correct.
Awesome. So you're going to be the main event, Pure FC in Stevens Point. You're facing Jamey Simmons out of Pure Vita. What do you know about him as an opponent?
I know that he's a very good college wrestler. I've seen him fight a couple times. A very respectable guy. I've got really no beef with him. I think almost like GSP, George St. Pierre. He hasn't really impressed me a whole lot. He's had some great finishes, but I see a lot of holes in his game.
So you said you see some holes in his game. Do you want to expand on that at all?
I mean, I think he's aware too. I'm aware. I know he talks about this big game of striking, but I've never really seen it yet.
Okay. So they say you can't really teach an old dog new tricks, but I have a feeling you might have something up your sleeve for this fight. Is there anything you want to share about your preparation and what you've specifically been working on, or is that something you want to keep close to the chest?
Oh, it's all right. I'm open about it. I've been training for this fight about I'd say almost 3 to 4 months now. So it was kind of funny that Jamey said I called him out, which that's a little BS. Jake Clip actually asked for the fight almost 4 months ago, and I countered him and said, how about we put this on LFA? I said, I think our fight should be highlighted. And then the whole LFA card dropped, and now we moved it to the main event in December. So yeah, Jake approached me like 4 months ago, and I brought up, hey, let's get paid some money and do it on LFA. The LFA card fell apart, and then we moved it to Stevens Point.
Oh, okay. So you've competed for, as you said, LFA, Bellator, King of the Cage, and all these organizations throughout your career. Is there a one moment that stands out in your mind that you're going to remember forever?
I would say 2010 Combat USA. That was the first fight I ever fought. 25 minutes. I fought a couple title fights now, but that one went the distance. Ended up being a majority decision.
Okay. Any other highlights for you?
I mean, entire career, lots of opponents I fought. I remember fighting Mike Richmond. I went to decision with him. I ate a left high kick from him, and the rest of the fight I don't remember. But then also the fight was over. So that was interesting. He said he's never had anybody stand in front of him and eat punches like that.
You're talking about Mike the Marine?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. I got to meet him in Minnesota. Real nice guy. So I've seen a lot of fighters on their retirement fight. They leave their gloves in the middle of the cage. Is that something you're planning on doing on Saturday?
That is definitely good insight.
Okay. So there's going to be a lot of Captain Morgan Sickinger fans in the crowd, watching you compete for the last time. Is there any messages that you want to send to your fans before you step into the cage on Saturday?
I mean, a lot of them know that this is my last fight. I've now kind of been semi-retired twice, but so 2017 was supposed to be my last fight, and that was actually my coach's choice. It was not mine. He said he wanted me to retire, so I didn't really sit well with me. And then about a month later, Bellator called me, so that's where the gloves came back on. Trained 3-4 months for Bellator, and then obviously I fought this summer LFA. That I took on a 2-day notice, cut 20 pounds. Big thing with this fight, I put in a 4-month training camp. So you're going to see the best version of me possible, not a 2-day version of me.
Yeah, no, I've been paying attention to you on social media, and you've been in the gym every day. You've been posting and been active. It's good to see that you were putting in the work, and we're going to see like you said, the best version we've sid of you. Do you have any predictions for Saturday night? And how you think the fight's going to go?
I mean, I'm aware of what Jamey can do. Like I said, I think I'm going to be able to solve any riddle he can throw my way. And I'm hoping he comes up with some new answers, but if he stays with the same answers he has before, he's going to be out for a long night.
So who's going to be in your corner?
I'm going to have Jamey Simmons out of Kick It from Sheboygan, a former opponent of mine. We fought, I'm trying to think, 2011. That fight went a split decision. He was the victor in that fight. Very good striking, very good conditioning. I'm also going to have Danny Soko out of Unified Martial Arts. He was the first professional opponent I ever fought in 2007. And then Nick Gonzalez out of Unified Martial Arts in Fond du Lac.
Okay, sounds like you got a great corner. No giraffes or monkeys in this one, right?
Just captain's hats.
Right. So I want to thank you for being on the show. You've been a guy that I wanted to get on for a long time, and I'd love to have you back on and kind of pick your brain about specific fights and talk about fight IQ and everything. So I definitely want to get you back on the show. Is there any kind of sponsors that you want to thank right now heading into your final fight?
Yeah, definitely. I'll list a couple. I was just there today. Tundra Chiropractic out of De Pere. They've been helping me out for the last year or so. They're brand new. Used to be an old chiropractic clinic. A new guy stepped in. Obviously, want to thank all my students at CMS Fitness. Starting to get a good following there. They're helping. Give me training partners. I'm training them, so that's awesome. A lot of local companies in Manitowoc. I got the YMCA's where I do a lot of my conditioning out of. I'm a personal trainer there. I'm the head fitness coordinator. Run their youth sports programs. I mean, like I said, list could go on. There's a bunch. Also, Revolutions Bar and Grill. They're a couple of my students are out of there. They're helping me out significantly. Kaysen is a big factory in Manitowoc. They're helping. I mean, there's gonna be a whole pile of them announced on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll have a long list of thank yous in the cage for your final fight on Saturday. Morgan, we want to thank you for your time today. It's an honor being able to talk to you. Like I said, you're a guy that I've wanted on for a long time. We wish you the best of luck Saturday night. I can't wait to see the best version that we've seen from you so far.
Awesome. I got one little closing thing. So this being my last fight, it's kind of like full circle. My first fight was in Stevens Point, so it's not really known well. My first amateur fight was in Plover, so that's as close to get to Stevens Point. So
right.
40 fights later, making a full circle.
Yeah, we went. You hit the big stage and came back around. That's something a lot of guys aren't able to do. That's awesome, man. Like I said, we wish you the best of luck, and I can't wait to watch the fight.
All right, thank you.